So if you're sitting in one spot studying one subject for 5 hours straight, I guarantee you're still gonna fail the test. And then you're gonna wonder why. Well, don't wonder any longer.
You can use your imagination. You better use your imagination.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about how to get a 4.0 GPA, something I have. Okay, but like seriously, I'm going to break this video into like 2 sections. The first section is going to be for like high schoolers only because it wouldn't apply to college students. And then the rest is going to be for both college and high school students. All right, a little background on me. I had a 4.0 for all 4 years of high school. I was in National Honor Society for all 3 years I was eligible, so 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And then I graduated as salutatorian of my class. So, you know, that's me establishing ethos, credibility. On to the actual tips. For high schoolers, obviously you've probably heard a lot about AP, IB, and dual enrollment. I'm just gonna be honest, I have no idea what the IB program is like because my school didn't offer it, so I never took it. But I did take AP courses and college dual enrollment, so that's what I'm gonna talk about. With AP, here's the thing with AP. It's a scam, but like, it's not. You know, the reason it's a scam is because the work you do is basically the same as a regular class, maybe just a little bit more work and a little more reading. The non-scammy part of it is that once you complete your AP course and the exam, if you get a certain score, your credits will transfer once you go to college. So here's the thing. AP tests, they're on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, obviously. And certain schools accept certain scores. So for instance, if you get a 3 on the test and you apply to one school, they'll be like, hey, this is fine, perfect. Boom, credits transferred. But if you go to another school with that 3, they'll be like, no, you needed at least a 4 or a 5, so you wouldn't get the credits for that school. So honestly, you just need to research where you want to go and know what they're expecting so you're not disappointed if you get a good score, but they don't accept it. Just save yourself time and money because I know some people have to pay for AP courses. My school paid for all that stuff, so I didn't. But like, if your school does make you pay, just be informed on the courses you're taking, if it's actually gonna be worth it for you or not. And in terms of college dual enrollment, I took 2 of those courses in high school, and those are the best to take. I think those are more useful than AP courses, to be honest, because they're gonna be accepted no matter what. As long as you pass with like for me, I took pre-calculus and calculus, and I passed pre-calc with like a 90 something, calc with an 89, basically a 90. I'm still pressed. But yeah, so I got an A and a B, and I got 8 credits in total because it was a full year course, so 4 credits per course, and that's 8 whole credits that I brought to college. I ended up coming here to Howard with 14 credits in total, like with the college enrollment combined with my AP courses. And about the AP courses, another thing that's like not scammy would be that they're weighted higher than regular courses, and that helps with your GPA if you do well. So there's regular courses. AP courses are above that. I think, if I remember from what other people have said, IB is slightly above AP in terms of weight on your actual GPA. And then college enrollment courses are the very top because they're literal college level. Like, it's gonna surpass anything in high school. Basically, if you wanna get high GPA in high school, you should take advanced courses that you know for a fact you will do well in, because if you take advanced courses and suck, that's not doing anything good for you, you know? Don't just be that person that takes 15 APs and then you do well in 2 and now your GPA is a 3 and you don't understand. Because anyway, on to the more general like high school and college tips. For me, something that I've always done in both high school and college, I choose my seat very carefully in my classes. I sit in the front. It doesn't always have to be the very front row. Like, it'll be between the first and maybe the 4th row. That's a stretch. I like to be in the first 3 because that's the closest, obviously, and I feel like I pay more attention when I'm in the front than when I'm in the back, because there's typically less people in the front, so there's less distractions. The only distraction I ever had was myself when I would get a little bored and, play Toon Blast on my phone and go on Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that. That's another thing. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. That way, you don't get notifications in class, so you won't be checking your phone. And plus, you just have to have discipline to know that you want to learn this material and you want to do well. So just don't be on your phone when you could be paying attention. Seat placement is very important. That's what helps me retain most of my knowledge, because I'm in the front. I can hear what my teacher is saying very clearly since I'm so close. I can see the board because I wear contacts, so sometimes it's hard for me to see, but being literally, this is the board, this is me, it's like, how am I not gonna see that stuff? Another thing, this really gets me upset. I see so much about oh, college culture is studying for 8+ hours in a day for one subject, and it's just I don't understand how anybody believes that's helpful in any way. You're literally cramming information in your brain and you're not retaining any, after a certain amount of time, you stop retaining information. So if you're sitting in one spot studying one subject for 5 hours straight, I guarantee you're still gonna fail the test. And then you're gonna wonder why. Well, don't wonder any longer. It's not a good or smart idea to be studying for super long. Me personally, I only study for an hour. 1 single hour on a subject. And I don't do multiple subjects in one day. Unless it's 2 classes of the same subject. For instance, my research and analysis course, which is for psychology, and then my race and racism course, another psychology subject. I'll study for those things on the same day because it's essentially the same stuff. But I'm not gonna study for an English test and then my African studies course on the same day. It's better to have separate times for studying certain subjects so that your focus is on that thing only and you're not having information from earlier that day that you studied interfere with this new information. So I wasn't kidding when I say I only study for an hour. I do not stress myself in terms of studying, and I also don't stay up super late. I have this rule: if I don't understand the information by 12 o'clock, I'm just gonna go to bed. You staying up and you already don't understand the information, you're getting less time to sleep along with already not knowing what you're doing. So then you're gonna wake up, you're gonna be tired, you might end up oversleeping and missing your class, or you don't get enough sleep and you go to class, you can't concentrate, and once again, you're not retaining information, so it's just a downward spiral. Sleep, very important. Not studying too much, very important. In terms of note-taking, I know a lot of people like to take notes on their computer. Do you, but me personally, I retain information best by writing it down. I'm the type of person, all 3 types of learning, visual, auditory, and actual writing, help me learn the best. Because hearing, I can remember what my teacher says in class, and then when I'm reading my notes that I wrote down, I'll think of specific things that they said. And I'll be like, oh yeah, this matches with this, blah, blah, blah. You just have to find out what works for you and capitalize off that. So if you are better at listening to your teacher than you are at writing notes, okay, you can record the lectures, and then go back to your room and listen to them that same night or the day before the test, whatever works for you. Or if you're a visual learner, you can take videos or take pictures of the board and the PowerPoints and stuff like that. Or if you're just, a regular person that just likes to write notes, you do that. I know one thing for me when I'm writing notes, I like to format it in a certain way that I know that certain parts of the notes are for certain topics. So for instance, if I'm in my psychology class and we're talking about the brain for one portion, I'm going to literally write brain and put a box around it and then bullet points for various things. And if one bullet has more information to go underneath that, I'm gonna put a dash below that specific point and write more information. So it's all just one cohesive thing instead of a big glob. For the next topic, say it's personality. I would write personality, put a box around it, and do the same exact thing. Your notes are organized and it's not all over the place, so when you're going back to read it, you can actually find whatever you're looking for and not have to spend hours searching for something. One thing that I make sure I do is that I always do my assignments on time. If you hand in an assignment late, you get points taken off. You're already getting points taken off for it being late, and who knows the quality of the work you're giving the teacher. You're not like automatically getting 100. It depends on the actual quality of the work. So if you kind of like half do it or just like not really put your effort into it, and say it's like a 75, and then you turn it in late and you get more points taken off, it's like, obviously that's gonna hurt your GPA because it's gonna hurt your overall score in the class, and it's just not a good look. Do your work on time, please. I'm begging you. Because honestly, like, I don't think I've ever turned in a late assignment, and I have a 4.0, so clearly it works. Another thing about studying I've learned, for me personally, I don't like studying in groups. It doesn't work for me. Some other people, it works amazing and they do better when they work with other people, but for me, it does not work like that. I retain information the best in like specific spots that I typically study in. So I have a desk in my dorm and I sit at it and I, obviously study. And I always go to that same spot. I don't switch it up. I don't come here to study. I don't go to a study room and study. I go to the same spot in my dorm every single time, and it helps me get like a routine going. It's just better when you're in a familiar place that you feel comfortable in, so that you're more inclined to really just zone into what you need to zone into and really focus on that instead of being in a new environment and then focusing on, who's coming in and out of the room. But if you're a person that likes study groups and it works for you, definitely use the group meetings to find people to go study with you at the library, study rooms, wherever you guys like to go. Make sure you bring your notes with you so that you guys can all discuss what you have and either add notes from them or they can add from you. It's supposed to be a group effort and everyone's like adding information. So if some person missed one thing, somebody else can be like, I have the notes for that day. Like, I've been to a study group before and it was cool. It's just I do better on tests and homework when I do by myself. So that's what I do. Okay, I'm honestly so sorry. Like, I don't know what's going in my throat, but yeah, it needs to stop. And another misconception, some people think that in order to get a 4.0, you need to like have no social life. That is a lie. I had very much of a social life in high school and college, and I managed to get a 4.0 in both. So clearly that's a myth. I feel like if anything, if you close yourself off and all you're doing is work 24/7, that's gonna take a toll on you and you're still not gonna achieve a 4.0. Go out, live your best life. Now, I'm not encouraging you to be crazy and, do wild things that are gonna cause you to not be able to focus on your schoolwork, but you shouldn't be school. It should be like school, me, friends, family. Split up your time wisely. Don't spend it all in one area. Like, you shouldn't spend it all in school, but you also shouldn't spend it all on a social life either, because too much of something can be bad for you. All things in consideration. That's what it's called. Yeah. Anyway. No, I'm just gonna crop it out.
It's your girl, Key.
Yes. Yeah, it's gotta be on first. Let's say Also, make sure that you get the materials for each of your classes so that you can have the proper information to complete various homework assignments, essays, whatever you need to do. Like, sometimes, there's free PDFs online that you can find, or you can get discounts at the bookstore. Whatever you need to do, you should do that. Sometimes if you don't have the various books that your teacher tells you to get, you're missing out on certain information that'll help you do better on tests and homework. So essentially your GPA will not be as high as it could be if you had those items. But yeah, I'm not even gonna front. I didn't get all the materials. Some classes I literally did not buy any books for. I kind of already knew the information, and if I didn't know, I would go online, type the book in and read a few sentences and get an overall gist and then incorporate that into my homework. So yeah, but that's me. Not everyone can do stuff like that, so you just have to find what works for you and capitalize off that. And that's gonna be my main message for this whole video. Like I said before, with the whole I only study an hour for most subjects, if you need more than an hour, do that, but don't go overboard. Anything over 4 hours, I feel like is too much. I feel like even 3 hours is too much, but if that works for you, then do that. Study guides, Quizlet, that type of thing, they're gonna make your life so much easier because it's like everything that you've learned for that unit or that chapter, it's all gonna be on that one page or that one website. So you can just print that out, study like a few terms every day so that you can really let that information sink in, and then boom, the day of the test, you're gonna know everything. Like that's what I do for psychology, and I got an A in the course last semester, so I'd say it worked pretty well, you know? But one thing with the study guides and the Quizlet, do not look at it for the first time the day before the test, because that's not gonna help you at all. You're gonna be looking pretty dumb at the test because you tried to cram, and now you don't know what you thought you knew because you crammed. So don't cram. I feel like I've talked a lot about various different things in terms of studying and just like good habits and tips for, you know, keeping your 4.0. So I think this is the end of the video. If you have any like specific questions or you want to know more about what I did personally that I might have left out, you can just comment below and then I respond. Once again, this was kind of all over the place. I was just trying to remember each and everything that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't write it down because that's just me. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!